Hi, my name is Nella, and I know this is a really weird way to start things because to I'm officially beginning to document my life by giving you guys a glimpse on how my year went. Instead of taking you guys with me from the very start of my year, I'm instead going to be starting this journey by introducing to you how my life has been for the past year. So we're going to be starting from the end. So allow me to walk you through my year because this has been one of the toughest years that I've ever gone through. I would say that this video is also for those people that thinks 2024 is not their year. Maybe 2024 for some of you guys has been also as tough as mine. So maybe this video can give you a sense of comfort or whatever purpose it may serve you. I just hope it's something positive. So without further ado, allow me to begin. So in walking you guys throughout the reflection of my year, I'll be reading excerpts from my journal entries because I believe I can articulate my thoughts better this way. So I'll just go ahead. So the first half of the year was a turning point in overcoming personal limitations. For the first time, I pushed myself beyond the barriers I had unknowingly built around me. Barriers that were nothing but products of self-pity disguised as self-acceptance. I had been living under the assumption that the limits I imposed on myself were natural, but they were simply excuses to avoid stepping out of my comfort zone. I spent my high school years thinking that I should never change myself because I should never abide by the non-existent societal pressure or the societal rules that have been imposed within our culture and trends. And, bowing my head towards the kind of changes that these things or our trends and culture have been putting a pressure to our self-confidence and perspective in our skills would equate to me being a slave of society. And that was just a completely twisted mindset because honestly those were just excuses for me to not try out to improving myself, because again I was thinking me trying to change myself for the better would be me changing or abiding by societal standards. So this year I decided I wouldn't sit idle anymore and that I will not do things that my future self will regret. And I'm so glad that I decided to act upon my insecurities and the areas that I believe I could really work on for improvement, because upon exploring these areas that I could really make an effort to improve on, it made me enter this journey of self-exploration and really building a connection with myself and working on my self-confidence. It also made me gain perspective on a lot of things that I was actually capable of doing. Like the kind of things that I did for myself this year were the things that my 7th grade self would never believe I am doing right now. So I guess that is one good thing that I did this year. This one good thing that 2024 gave me, which is the ability to work on myself. After taking a gap year before college, I found myself struggling to keep up. College felt like a completely different world, making every decision feel weighty and crucial. I began to lose the joy and passion I once had, overanalyzing every decision I was making every day, thinking it's vital for my future. And because of this, it caused me to spiral and feel stuck. If you guys know normal people, instead of feeling like Marianne, I felt like Connell. Maybe a mixture of both, but more of Connell, like 70-30. And it put me into this crisis, rethinking every decision I was making, rethinking if it's really worth it for my future, rethinking if this is really what I want for myself, and so on and so forth. And it just caused me to be to spiral every day and to not enjoy the things that I used to enjoy to do. It made the chase after my dreams lose the spark, and I was so confused on the specific goal that I really wanted to chase. And I learned that instead of chasing after something that I ultimately believe I had to be the best at, I switched my perspective into thinking I needed to on something that I believe I could work on, or on something that I believe I could improve on, basically. Something that I believe if I would work on it for a long time, I would gradually maybe become the best at it. I don't have to be the best at it now. Maybe in the future, I have a shot of being the best at it. So a series of failed situations made me question my abilities, as if every misstep equated to being a failure. However, I realized I was just a 20-year-old, still young, still learning. Failures are not the end, but stepping stones. And I know we've heard this a lot, but I think it's really simpler said than done. If you're someone who knows the feeling of the universe just not accepting the kind of vision you have for yourself, and you don't know anymore what to do because you have this huge ambition for yourself, and you've really worked hard to try and to work towards these opportunities that you believe is for yourself, but the universe is like, honey, no, it's not for you. And you're just sitting there like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Believe in the everything happens for a reason bullshit. But I also learned that instead of aiming for perfection, I wanted to start focusing on growth, choosing to embrace being a work in progress. Because of the series of failed situations I've had, it made me really question my abilities and my capabilities, my skills, my work ethics, and everything about myself. It just put me really into a crisis. It made me rethink every decision I've been making in the past few months, thinking if everything have been worth it so far. But for what it's worth, some things that happen has to happen in order for this big thing to happen. The hurdles and setbacks of this year taught me to embrace life as a journey, full of ups and downs, and to find value in the process itself. This year, I was really able to learn the beauty behind process. Although, I guess because of the series of misfortunes I've had this year, maybe I just forced myself into thinking that the process that I'm in is a process that I have to trust. But if this is what it takes to keep me sane, I'm down. Many unexpected challenges drained my mental health, from losing faith in my abilities to questioning life itself. It felt exhausting to pursue goals only for them to be delayed or to be crushed. But the classic things happen for a reason felt meaningless, and it started to feel like really bull. But in reflecting on my progress, I saw how far I had come, not just compared to last year, but to the person I had been for years. For instance, prioritizing my physical health was something unimaginable, not just a year ago, but for something for myself my whole life. And yet here I was, having done it, being able to do little things that meant a lot in terms of my confidence and insecurities. And I also learned that hope isn't something we wait for, it's something that we really create. Even if our hopeful visions seems like delusion to others, they have the power to carry us forward. Just why I stated earlier, if it's what's gonna keep me sane, I'm gonna keep on clinging into this crap that everything happens for a reason. It's what keeps me going, and it's what helps me appreciate the journey instead of just the destination. And I know that's a corny thing to say, but again, for the sake of maintaining faith into what tomorrow can bring me, this is the kind of mindset I need to stick onto in order to keep myself going. A new year gonna waits us, and a lot of turmoil are gonna wait. And in the amount of rejections I've had this year, it made me learn that a switch of perspective truly does change everything. And how instead of desperately chasing an end goal, the daily caffeine run, the tiring commute, the laughs and cries I share with friends, the movies, the anime, the music, it's what makes everything a tiny bit better. And these are what makes life, well, life. So, whatever comes in the next few days that is ahead of us, however light and heavy these days are, it's up to us on how we will be responding to these days. And depending on our response, it's what's gonna keep us going, or it's what's gonna stop us from this momentum that we've already built for ourselves. But I want you guys to remember that no matter what kind of response we have on certain situations, rejections, happy times, bad times, it doesn't define our totality as a human being. It just proves that we are humans, we are fragile, we are capable of love, and the kind of love that we receive and give, it defines the kind of energy we are actually capable of bringing forth in this world. I don't know, I'm just yapping at this point. I just really want to say that to my fellow people out there that feels like 2024 is a shitty year, you're not alone, and here's to a better year ahead of us.